Back so soon? Oh no, what happened?
A little incident at the dog park. We gotta head to the vet.
Oh, not again. These bills.
We can use CashNet USA. We can apply in minutes, get a fast decision, and have the money in the account as soon as the same business day. All right, Cheddar, back in the car.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See CashNetUSA.com for more details.
Instacart is here to keep you on the couch this basketball season. With pre-game rituals and post-game interviews, it's hard to find time for everything else. Let Instacart handle your game day snacks or weekly restocks with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. Download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
For exclusive podcasts and more, sign up at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
This week's Law & Order Marathon winner is Kristen Gideon of Streetsboro, Ohio. Kristen will get a marathon decal showing she watched 26.2 hours of her favorite crime show. To be next week's winner, sign up at lawandorderpodcast.com.
I'm Kevin Flynn with Rebecca Lavoie and Melody Carlisle, and these are their stories.
You think you know who did it, but you don't know who did it. Law and order, law and order, law and order. It's no ordinary police procedural, baby. It's the FNOG of police procedurals, baby. Law and order, law and order, law and order, law and order. These are their stories, these are their stories.
Welcome to the Season 8 finale of These Are Their Stories, the podcast about network TV's most enduring crime franchise and the real-life cases that inspired their shows. I'm Kevin Flynn. Each podcast will break down an episode from either Criminal Intent, SVU, or Original Recipe, and today we're looking at Special Victims Unit, Season 17, Episode 7, Patrimonial Burden.
We're good parents. We watch over our children.
With all due respect, this wasn't an immaculate conception.
Joining me to do just that is true crime author and the host of Crime Writers On and Netflix's You Can't Make This Up podcast, Rebecca Lavoie. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Kevin, my husband.
And rounding out, I thank you for pledging your purity to me, by the way. Yes.
Patriarchy.
And rounding out the panel is our special returning guest from the Heaving Bosoms podcast. It's Melody Carlisle. Hello, Melody.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know, we know that you are a tastemaker on your podcast about romance novels.
Indeed.
But now you have been hired to read audiobook versions of romance novels.
Yeah, I'm an audiobook narrator.
Are you able to do this with a straight face?
A straight face?
Yes, like, is it just like, so does it get like sometimes like too cheesy?
Too sweaty?
Too sweaty? What do you think?
I narrated a book called Toxic Desire by Robin Lovett, and it is, the premise is incredible. It is about a planet where when you hit the atmosphere, there's a crash landing. 2 enemies, like sworn enemies, get stuck together, crash land on this planet, and the atmosphere is an aphrodisiac. And so, like, you either have to fuck or die kind of a situation, you know?
Yeah.
And it's honestly wonderful. He's a snake man, too. He's, like, descended from gold snakes. Look, it's the best. It's the best.
I love it when you don't have just 2 bosoms. You have aliens with 12.
Yes,
so
this is what I'm saying.
It's 6 times as good. Yeah.
There's another species in that series that the women have like 3 clitorises or something wonderful.
Ooh.
So.
Now, 3 on top of each other or like in a
I'm pretty
shape
sure
of
it's
a triangle?
I think it's like a more triangle situation.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
You need a possum.
And here's the thing is that the men's penises are square. Right? So you put that square peg in that triangular hole, right?
Honestly, one of them, it might be better than that because the snake man's skin is indestructible. It's like diamond. And the only vulnerable place on his body is when he ejaculates and the skin comes apart. And that is the only place where you can like penetrate his skin. So that's his vulnerability.
It's his Achilles foreskin? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Melody, remind us of all the franchises. Which two cops are your favorite Law and Order detective team?
Favorite Law and Order detective team.
Oh, man. Right now, in this moment in time, it's Carisi and Rollins. I love them. I love Carisi. I've never in my life been like attracted to like a good old Italian boy. But there's something about Carisi that's so charming. Ugh.
Yep.
It's because he's nice to his sisters.
And his nieces.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's so nurturing.
You can drool on my clothes. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know what it is? He's clearly the only boy in that family because he never refers to any brothers or nephews, right?
Absolutely.
He only talks about his mother, never his father. So this is why he's nice because women are like, you have to be nice.
Yeah.
Carisi.
Yeah. Keep it together, Carisi.
Dominic.
Yeah.
And who is your favorite prosecutorial team?
Favorite Law and Order District Attorney Prosecutorial Team.
I want to say Barba, but he's honestly too self-righteous for me most of the time. I am going to say, that I love the blonde lady who was retconned into being queer. I love her.
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Yes, that lady.
There she is. There she is. Yes, Serena Sutherland. Yep.
Yeah.
Any excuse to play that, I will do that.
Yep. Again
I mean,
and again
honestly.
And again.
Now let's take a look at the first half of this episode. Special Victims Unit Season 17, Episode 7, Patrimonial Burden. Just to note, some streaming services list this as Episode 6 because of a 2-part season opener. So, don't be like my co-host here and make self-congratulatory comments thinking you've caught me making a mistake.
It's 6, Kevin.
You are the reason our country is going to hell.
Who says it's 6? Hulu.
Hulu's wrong.
Hulu. Yeah.
Hulu is wrong. Okay, we open on the creepiest daddy-daughter dance of all time. One where the girl gets to make a speech about her virginity, then kind of marries her father.
Yep.
But this is no ordinary virtue ball. The bride of For Christ's Sake is Lainey, just one of Frank and Pam Baker's God-fearing homeschool children with their own reality TV show. When Lainey passes out, doctors discover the 13-year-old is actually 3 months pregnant.
Seems like they don't trust outsiders very much.
Maybe they're just protective of their kids.
You mean their brand? And look at what happened with the Duggars. Word gets out that one of those virgin Baker daughters is knocked up. There goes the TV show, the book deal, the multi-million-dollar chastity empire.
Rollins, these people, they take the faith very seriously.
Newly minted Lieutenant Olivia Benson and Sergeant Redshirt Mike Dodds wants to know who in the family circle could have raped the teen. But the Bakers, on the advice of their lawyer/pastor Gregory Eldon, they are now reluctant to cooperate. They won't allow an amnio or other procedure that might get DNA results for the fetus. When asked to name the father, Lainey says it's Pete Matthews, one of the TV show's cameramen. He's got lots of videos of teen girls getting undressed, but his vasectomy rules him out as the father. Matthews shows Finn and Carisi footage of oldest son, Graham, trying to cop a feel with the piano teacher. When the detectives visit the Bakers' hometown, they sense the locals are protecting their famous church-going neighbors. But when a local cop pulls Finn and Carisi over on their way out of town, he slips them a copy of Graham's hidden arrest record for touching a minor. Okay, so we begin with a horror jump scare about the life of the 13 family members who are on the TV show Baker's Dozen. It's clever because there's 13 in a Baker's Dozen, right?
What was it called before that they had that baby, though? That's what I want to
know. That's a great question. Probably still Baker's Dozen when it was 12.
Yeah.
And they're like, thank frickin' God.
Baker's Dozen and counting.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So it's not only about like how they're this big family. It's also about how they make a promise to their father that they won't have sex until their wedding night.
I make this solemn vow to you and my Creator
to keep my thoughts virtuous.
To keep my thoughts virtuous.
And abstain from all sexual activity.
And to abstain from all sexual activity.
Until the day you give me to my husband.
She also pledges to stay in the red tent until her moon blood comes.
Yes. That's right. That's right. You gotta sequester them, you know? It's gonna get everywhere
creepy.
Otherwise.
It is so, isn't this so creepy? It's so creepy.
So I don't know who told you that one of my special interests is fringe evangelical Mormon groups.
Oh, yeah?
Love
okay. Tell us more.
But, oh my God, that, I find it like morbidly fascinating, if that makes sense. Like it just, none of it makes any sense to me other than like, what I learned as a youth that's then like blown up and made huge in these places. But like the Quiverful movement and like Bill Gothard and the IBLP and everybody, like this is who that family is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the piece de la resistance for me is the cake topper that has one large groom and one tiny bride.
Truly.
But to be fair, it was actually like one regular-sized bride and a giant groom that would not fit on a regular wedding cake. It was like a Ken doll.
Do you know what's funny, Kevin? Is that very often when we do things where like religion comes into play and I'm like saying something about that religion, I always feel like, wow, if somebody in that religion is listening right now, I'm probably really pissing them off.
Yeah.
Regarding this, I don't give a fuck. This is weird.
No.
It's weird. It's creepy.
It's harmful.
Promising your dad that you won't let anyone touch you until he gives you to them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, especially
now.
when apparently you live with a man who will just give you to a grown adult when you're 14. Like, did she know that part? Was that in the fine print of her virginity pact? No, this whole thing, I don't know, like, there are so many times when I look back and I'm like, wow, I wish that I could have had that moment, like that 16th birthday tradition or whatever. But I'm going to say, I'm really, really glad that I never had to tell my dad that my hymen is in fact intact and that I won't let anybody near my no-no parts until he says it's okay.
But she's lying about it, right? Because we already know. Here's the thing. Everybody should have noticed that was an off-white dress. Okay, so at this party, I don't know if everybody noticed, but the first dance for the happy couple is to the song Somewhere Out There from the cartoon An American Tail with Fievel the Mouse.
Thank you for bringing up this incredibly important detail.
May I have your attention, please? At this time, we would like to invite all fathers to escort their daughters onto the floor for a special dance.
It's important for a girl to feel love and acceptance. If she's not getting that from her father, then she seeks it out from other men.
This was the 1988 Song of the Year, sung by Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. It is a slow romance ballad about love and hope and separation. It was the closing credits song, but in the film, the song was sung between Fievel and a mouse named Tanya, who is his sister. So right on the nose for this episode.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
So Rollins is here, and she's 8.5 months pregnant. And she's on desk duty, but she's valuable to the case because apparently, as she says, I'm the only one who has ever seen this reality show and apparently took nothing away from it.
Hey, now, I will say this was my favorite subplot of the whole show, that Rollins knew everything about all the characters because she had seen every episode. This is like if a murder were committed on an HGTV show, like I would be brought in as the legal consultant. I'd be like, no, that is Jonathan, not Drew. And you can tell because of his busted face. Like I would know every detail of everybody's life. I would know who did it because I have seen every episode of everything on HGTV.
Yeah, which episode, like one of them was acting a little funny, which episode they were absent for, you know?
No, Tarek swings a hammer with his left hand. Therefore. And then later, the pious Mrs. Baker sits down at Amanda's desk and asks,
Your husband doesn't mind you working with all these men?
It's not an issue.
And she's like, the only detective I haven't gotten with here is Finn. So, no. I can catch a dick anywhere.
That's right. Thank you very much. It's one of my special talents.
Now we have a Hey, It's That Guy.
Hey, it's that guy.
Who is playing cameraman Pete Matthews?
It's that guy that's been in everything.
Yeah.
Chris Elliott.
Yes.
Chris Elliott.
Look, I'm supposed to have cameras on them all the time, everywhere. Okay? I mean, you're right. I should have erased that. So, okay, lesson learned on my part.
To Law & Order appearances, he's best known for his many appearances on Late Night with David Letterman and his quirky roles in Cabin Boy, Everybody Loves Raymond, and as Mayor Rollins in Schitt's Creek.
Yes. And wasn't he briefly in a relationship with or married to Drew Barrymore?
I don't know, but that's headcanon now.
Oh, that's, I think, Tom.
Oh, that's Tom Green.
Tom Green.
No,
yes.
it's this guy.
Yeah, he was also Woogie in There's Something About Mary. That's Ted's friend who is so secretly obsessed with Mary that he breaks out into rashes. So Chris's father was Bob Elliott, part of the famous radio comedy duo Bob and Ray, for when they had famous radio comedy duos. And his daughter is Abby Elliott, who has been pregnant for 3 consecutive seasons of The Bear.
Oh, the sister.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Who finally gave birth in season 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't look alike at all, I don't think.
Father,
Maybe if I
daughter.
saw them side by side, they
I
would.
don't think so. Fortunately, she looks nothing
Better?
like her father. Yes. I got to say, it's hard to fault Abby Elliott for being a Nepo baby when her father was also a Nepo baby.
True.
Yeah.
Abby was the first SNL cast member to be a child of another cast member, which reminds me, I'll announce now, season 9 of these stories will be hosted by Lily Flynn and Henry Lavoie, so I can retire to Boca.
Wow.
That's right. Pass it on.
All right, let's run down some of the people in the Baker family. Do you know who's playing creepy girl dad, Frank?
No, but I know he can't move his neck because every time he looks somewhere,
He's
it's
got good
all
shoulders.
all the time.
Yeah, all shoulders.
What my wife means is that we need to talk to Lane first. She doesn't even know she's pregnant.
That's Christopher Siebert. Today, he's primarily a music theater guy. He was in Shrek the Musical as Lord Farquaad.
Yes.
Where he, on stage, he plays the short character on his knees, like with fake legs. He was one of the 2 gay dads providing comic relief in the ABC sitcom It's All Relative, starring current Law & Order star Reed Scott. Christopher made his debut in the ABC TV series Two of a Kind as the father of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Yes.
He's a widower who the twins are always trying to find romantic connections for him.
Oh, so it's like the reverse of this.
It's the reverse of this, yeah. Exactly. Of course, the Olsen twins, they would go on to make $1 billion. He would go on to wear out 17 pairs of Black & Decker knee pads, interrogating the gingerbread man 8 shows a week.
There you go.
Not my gumdrop buttons.
Oh, yeah, definitely carry a tune. We have a repeat offender.
Repeat offender.
Playing Mother Pam Baker is Geneva Carr from Bull.
We had a wonderful time in New York, but I am ready to trade in the Big Apple for some fresh-picked farm apples.
She was in that new Star Wars series Skeleton Crew as the mother of Neil, the one alien kid
Oh my God,
who
yeah.
looks like a blue elephant.
Yes.
You watched it?
Yes.
Yeah. But she dressed in the costume herself with the prosthetic trunk so that, like, you would never recognize her unless you really knew her voice, right?
Yeah.
So she was kind of like a Shrek, but blue.
Yeah. I love it.
So do you know the actress playing oldest daughter, Timber, the one who's 15 but looks like she's 27?
Oh,
no,
boy.
she's married,
No.
right? She's the one who's married?
Yes. Making up for lost time.
I'm very blessed. The only man I've ever kissed is my husband.
But boy, have we made up for lost time.
Okay, she's Rachel Annette Helson. She's done some acting, but is largely on the other side of things. She's directed 9 pictures, including the TV movie The Girl in the Window. 4.9 stars. Out of 10.
Oh.
Out of 10.
Sad town.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, okay.
I missed it.
I was impressed for a minute.
Yeah. Her IMDb page proudly declares that her short film, Good Daughter, qualified for the 2025 Academy Award for Best Live Action Short. Not nominated, qualified.
Oh,
Doesn't every live action short qualify?
It's got to be in a theater for this amount of time and this many shows, and there's some sort of technical requirements. It's got to be fewer than 40 minutes. And so
she was long listed for the Oscars.
She was long listed. She got on a website of like 150 contenders, so she's qualified.
Hey, she's making moves. It's great.
Making moves. It's happening.
Good for her.
By the way, from now on, I'm going to refer to this as the Webby Award submitted These Are Their Stories podcast.
Please do.
Yes.
Can you tell me the name of the actress playing daughter Lainey?
I know my being pregnant is God's will. I just didn't think God would let it happen until I was married.
No.
I do know this. It's like Victoria something.
Yeah,
I
Victoria Lee.
Okay.
She's had some bit roles in The Nick and Bridge of Spies. Victoria is named for a relative, Oscar winner Victor Fleming, who directed Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz.
Wow. Okay.
Now, the only problem, she has never explained exactly how she's related to him. So she's made this claim, but really can't say like whether she's the great-great-granddaughter or a cousin once removed, or it's a little suspicious.
She's not into genealogy, huh?
Yeah, she just knows, and she just told us. Like, many actors are trying to hide being a Nepo baby, but she is maybe pretending to be one? I don't know. How about this? Can you tell me the name of the actress who's playing the middle daughter, Summer?
No.
I took my oath 3 years ago. I remember it so well. I wear my promise ring every day.
Okay, that's Bridget McGarity. She has appearances in Blind Spot, The Jim Gaffigan Show, and in the Bob Dylan film A Complete Unknown.
Really?
She is playing, let me see here, young woman in cocktail dress, uncredited.
Love that.
Except here, she's being credited. She's getting her due.
She's getting her
Good
due.
for you, Summer.
Yeah. 6 years after this episode aired, she co-wrote a film called Generation Rex, W-R-E-C-K-S, like that, Generation Rex, with her co-writer and co-star, the dubious Nepo baby performer Victoria Lee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey. It was a reunion.
But perhaps Bridget's most lucrative appearance was in 2023 on The Price is Right College Week.
Wow.
She won $20,000 playing Time is Money.
Huh.
That's great.
I, on the other hand, have lost twice that much over the years betting on the outcome of Plinko and Punch-a-Bunch.
There you go.
We learned that an amniocentesis is considered too invasive for these people, right?
Yeah.
An amnio can threaten the life of the unborn child.
It's a very small risk. I mean, there are other simple blood tests that can help determine.
No. Nothing invasive.
And then she's like, what about a blood test? No, nothing invasive. I'm like, blood test is considered, like they're literally pricking your finger or taking blood from your arm. Apparently that's not good. I was very confused by that.
You're just going to ask God what the DNA is.
My favorite part of that scene was when she said, we don't believe in any of that because science ? Is involved.
So you're saying that maybe the implication isn't that they have a moral objection. It's just that they don't believe any of that.
That's right.
I don't think that is actually a thing.
Yeah,
That's right.
Science.
It would have been a baker's 50 if it weren't for the measles.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you saw kind of creepy Chris Elliott, you know he was going to be a suspect right off the bat. But once Laney accuses Matthews, Finn and Carisi pull up his footage from a girl's bathroom and they accuse him of making child pornography.
Summer's 15. This is a federal charge.
This is a federal charge. So why are you asking him about it? You're not in the FBI.
Nope.
Of course, he panics until they tell him that Laney is pregnant and sort of this light goes on.
Oh, okay. So she's really pregnant?
You're happy about that?
Yeah, I'm happy about that because I couldn't get her pregnant. I had a vasectomy 10 years ago, guys.
Still not proof you're not a child molester, though.
Yes,
That's
exactly. True. And also, that actually isn't 100%. So, like, be careful out there, folks. All right?
That's right.
They're already talking about immaculate conception, so you can say, one of them snuck through.
Yeah, those guys can swim through. They strong.
Yeah.
I had a leaky vasectomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it grows back. I'm not kidding. It happened to my stepdad. He had to have a vasectomy twice.
Ooh.
Very
Really?
determined. Yeah. Those sperms. Very determined.
So are you between the two vasectomies?
No.
She said her stepdad.
I was old. I was raising, my siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. It is funny because he does kind of like have a look like, oh, I'm caught dead to rights for it. Wait a second.
Hold on.
You can't pin this on me.
Yeah, he's like, I should have deleted that footage, I guess. Like, yeah, man, or not had it at all, ?
Yeah. Lesson learned. Bygones.
You know what's funny about this whole sequence is the lie that Liv tells that little girl when she's being questioned. She's like, you can tell me who boinked you.
He wouldn't hurt me. He loves me.
He loves you.
Okay, then in that case, he's not going to get into any trouble.
He won't get in any trouble. I'm like, that's a lie.
I can't tell. Just write it down. The video Matthew has showing Graham is capable of impregnating his own sister is where he goes up to the young piano teacher and makes out like he's going to grab her rack, and he taunts his sister.
Get you $1, I can touch you under your shirt without actually touching.
Graham, quit it. It's not funny, Graham. It's never funny. You better stop or I'm going to tell Mom.
So if he wins, he gets $1. If he loses, he gets to grab a bunch of titties. I don't see how he loses.
Kevin.
I mean,
either way,
it's his sister. That feels like a loss, you know?
Well, it's not the sister. It's actually, although he's saying something to the sister, he actually grabs the piano teacher.
Who's never seen on the program again, according to Rollins.
She's like,
I would leave too. Bye. Man, the Josh Duggar of it all, you know?
I bet the parents made her leave because she was tempting him into sin.
That's exactly true. Her boobs existed, and so it's her fault.
It was an eye trap. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think the piano teacher's like, I don't know, this feels like a trick, but I'll take those odds. So Finn and Carisi pretend like the telephone isn't a thing, and they just drive hours north to Allenville and ask around about the Bakers. And they find the judge on the local golf course.
Either way, why'd you send him there?
Because it's a boy with too many sisters. He needed to be around other young men. Let some steam off.
Did Graham have trouble with his sisters?
No, of course not. Have you seen their show? We all love that family.
How do you find somebody you've never met just walking around the back nine? No cart. Just like maybe that guy.
That means they had to walk backwards through all the holes until they ran into the judge. I'm going to start at 18. What time did he go out for his game? All right, let's start at 18 and just bother everyone until we get to the right guy.
I need to go out for my afternoon constitutional anyway.
It's like these guys got all fucking day. We'll just walk the course.
Yeah, Allenville seems nice.
Take a drive back. But hey, you know things are bad in the world when even Officer Finn Tutuola, sitting next to his white partner, who is also armed with a gun.
That's right.
Gets pulled over by a local cop, and he's like, oh, this isn't good.
License and registration.
How you doing, officer? We're on the job.
Good for you. We take speeding very seriously.
Yeah. He says, driving while NYPD, because we know that the NYPD are the most marginalized community.
Oh, man.
He seems real creepy, that officer, until you realize what he did. But they do a good job of making... There's another episode, by the way, of SVU, where they drive to a hick place. No offense, people who live in hick places. They get pulled over by a cop who like railroads them and is horrible to them. And you think this is going to happen again, but it's not what happens. It's very surprising.
Yeah. But unfortunately for Finn, because he's thinking like, my wallet is right next to my gun, and I have no way of reaching for my driver's license without getting shot.
I know.
It's foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
But I do like how Finn tries to talk his way out of a ticket. He's just like,
what do you say we just get out of your town?
We'll never come back. You don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
But you want to know why that local cop was driving around with a copy of Graham's sealed arrest record?
I do want to know.
His daughter's the piano teacher.
Oh.
No. I've got too many bills.
If you need funds, you can apply in minutes at cashnetusa.com and have the money in your account as soon as the same business day.
Okay, got it. Applying now.
They've been helping hardworking people cover emergency expenses since 2004.
Hey, look, I got it.
You've got this.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See cashnetusa.com for more details.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back guaranteed. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Instacart is here to keep you on the couch this basketball season. With pre-game rituals and post-game interviews, it's hard to find time for everything else. Let Instacart handle your game day snacks or weekly restocks with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. Download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
All right, now let's take a look at the second half of this episode. With Pastor Eldon by their side, the Bakers tell Benson and Dodds that their son Graham is not the father of Laney's baby.
He's a boy going through puberty. There was some curiosity, some bad choices, but nothing like this.
In that case, it shouldn't be a problem if we talk to him, just to, clear the air.
Oh, I'm afraid that won't be possible. Graham's en route to Ecuador. Mission down there is in need.
Wow, that was fast.
400-month pregnant and stuck on desk duty, Rollins says 2 seasons earlier, Pam and daughter Summer suddenly left the show right before baby Tate was born.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately jumped to the conclusion that Summer is Tate's actual mother and brother Graham is the father. So using DNA from, swear to God, drool on Carisi's sport coat,
love it.
They rule out Graham and then turn their attention to Pastor Eldon. This time the DNA is a match for Tate, but to arrest him, Benson and Carisi have to go upstate where they find Laney about to marry Pastor Eldon, an obvious ploy to avoid prosecution. Olivia tells the Bakers that Eldon got Summer pregnant and then also fooled them into thinking Graham was the father to keep it quiet. Laney finally reveals it was the pastor who impregnated her too. The Bakers say this time they will not be silent and will press charges, even if it means the end of their financially lucrative, faith-based, sexually repressive reality TV show. All right, this is only the second episode with Andy Carl as Sergeant Mike Dodds. He was placed in SVU by his father, Deputy Chief William Dodds, to spy on Benson, perhaps. But eventually he doesn't play it that way.
He becomes one of the crew.
That's right.
Temporarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, very temporarily. But he goes out a hero, y'all. And now he's in Moulin Rouge on Broadway. So, he's fine.
He's doing fine.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say that in this episode, there is this tension because he disagrees with Benson's assessment of the case, but the two have this moment at the elevator.
I have doubts about the direction of the case. I shouldn't say anything in front of the whole squad.
Look, Dodds, there's 2 things that you need to know about me. First, I like an open and free exchange of ideas.
I picked up on that one.
And second, I'm usually right.
Copy that, Lieutenant.
Hey, word of advice?
Please.
You're off to a good start. You don't have to knock it out of the park in your first few weeks, you know?
You don't have to hit it out of the park.
No, he's like, is she always so intrusive, this woman? Seriously.
Who's paid to investigate crimes.
Who's paid to be my boss.
Yeah.
Also that. Yeah, good point.
Asking me what I'm doing, telling me what to do. Can you believe it?
Yeah. So as we've hinted at, Dodds is killed at the end of the season 17 finale.
Spoiler alert.
During this finale. He's only the 3rd cop in the Law & Order universe to be killed off. Danny Ross on Criminal Intent was killed 6 years before this. Before that, and OG detective Max Greevey died 25 years earlier.
Wow.
That's a total of 1,042 episodes, and only 3 characters have been killed. Killing off a cop is a very easy way to kill off a TV character, right?
Yeah. Not characters, cops, because Claire Kincaid was also.
And it's really good for the propaganda, too. Like, you'd think they would go for it more.
I will say that considering the cast of characters that have come through since then, the hits and the misses, mostly misses, I think Dodds was a decent character, and I feel like now looking back, they probably should have kept him.
Yeah. I mean, but then could we have seen his dad cry so beautifully on screen?
I do miss Gallagher, though. They should have kept him just so we could get Peter Gallagher.
Well, they did keep him around
for a little
Gallagher
while.
Yeah,
but we don't get to see those eyebrows anymore. It's a real shame.
I know. That salt and pepper's gone. It's very sad.
But then we get to see discount Anthony Michael Hall play the new deputy chief.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
So Rollins knows trash TV the way Finn knows street gang iconography.
That's right.
And she has a spicy take that even the internet didn't catch.
Graham got one of his other sisters pregnant. Which one? My guess is Summer. 3 years ago, she's 12. He's 14, and in the season finale, Pam and Summer go to Michigan to visit a sick aunt. I mean, they're only in like one scene, and that's via FaceTime.
And then they come home with a baby. So the only logical conclusion is that Graham fucked his sister, and the mom is covering for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
What year was this made?
This is 2015, I believe. Yeah. People watching Severance think Rickon is a goat, so why did no one on Reddit accuse Summer of being Tate's mom? How did everybody miss that?
Well, if that part of the story is based on what I think it's based on, that was considered fringe theory at the time, right?
Oh, fringe theory, right.
Yeah. I mean, what is this baby's name? Tate?
Tate.
Yeah. Sounds an awful lot like Trig, don't you think?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so Graham, FYI, let me tell you something. There's something wrong if your parents keep sending you to Ecuador because they think you're constantly molesting your sisters and you aren't.
Yeah. This whole deal was very on point, don't get me wrong, but like from a parenting perspective, they haven't had one single conversation with their son about his roaming hands and or penis. And like that's a crazy thought to me.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're going to go with it, okay, let's put it that way. Even if you're going to cover for him or whatever, we find out later that like he didn't even quote unquote confess to them because they have not made words at him about not touching his sisters.
Right.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is the mother says after the reveal, "I'm so sorry. I thought it was your brother."
Yes.
You know who you should be apologizing to is her brother.
She can't. He's in Ecuador.
I mean, she can't. It's long distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Do you think Graham was like trying to protect himself, like defend himself by going, "I'm saving myself for marriage. I didn't do it." By the way, why are there no purity balls for mothers and sons?
I wonder.
It answers itself.
Because the patriarchy.
So we just have to make sure the girls are covered at all times and it's their fault no matter what. The boys can't be held responsible. Okay?
You got to keep her, quote, body count low.
Body count.
To be fair, it is a lot of temptation, though.
Oh, God.
That was a joke.
No, of course.
I like
it was
to say,
funny, but still gross.
you can't spell Oedipus without us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or puss. I hated what I just did. I hate it. I'm sorry.
So to test their cockamamie theory that Tate's two grandfathers are the same guy, Carisi volunteers that Tate drooled all over his suit jacket, so his DNA is there. So he takes Rollins to the lab, and is probably shocked to learn they've cut up the jacket into little pieces to get the sample. He's like, "It's okay, I got a vest.
That's right.
Yeah. I will say this one little outing to the lab is enough to send pregnant Rollins to the hospital. And it's kind of cute when she wakes up and Carisi's waiting by the bed.
What am I doing? Was I thinking having a baby on my own?
Amanda, hey, listen to me. I've been working with you over a year now, and there is nothing that you can't handle.
I mean, this is a really pivotal point of their love story, everyone, okay? Because while she's pregnant and alone and questioning all of her choices, Carisi is there for her, and he continues to be there for her until they're married.
He's there for her twice when she's pregnant, alone, and asking herself about her choices.
I forgot this was the first one.
That's right. This is Jessie.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Same. But I think it took her way too long to open her eyes.
Sure.
I really do.
She was being stubborn about that, definitely.
Carisi says that it's going to be okay because his mom lit a candle for her at church, and she laughs at his stupid fucking Catholic face.
She laughs right at him.
I love it.
As did I.
And he doesn't mind. Oh, it's the best.
Now, in a bookend to that opening shot, we see Lainey holding hands at an altar, not with her father, but with her abuser, Pastor Eldon. And they are getting married. Why do the parents go along with it? Because the pastor will make an honest woman out of her.
I love the fact that this logic is simultaneously exactly what you think they would do, but also completely counter to their entire ideology. The dad is supposed to be the protector. The dad is supposed to do all of those things. And so by marrying off his daughter to this pastor, the dad is sending the message that, like, I cannot protect my family. And there is, in fact, a patriarchal figure that will take care of her better. Then the mom has the audacity to look me in my beautiful face and tell me that it's going to be just a marriage in name only. He'll be a different father figure because this one's not coming up to snuff, lady. Like, what are you talking about?
Sunrise, sunset.
Hey, different religion.
Yeah. How are they going to cousin Oliver, Lainey's husband, in the next season of Baker's Dozen? On the 2-part season premiere of Baker's Dozen, it's Lainey's birthday, and she's getting married.
So good.
Yeah, they can just reuse the cake topper from the beginning of
my God, it's still perfect.
from
It's
the
still
Purity
perfect.
Ball.
Oh, no. Ugh.
Yeah. Where's that? Like, now she's the pastor's wife. She's got to, like, make muffins for the bake sale.
Yes. Yeah.
And the two
Run
of them
the youth group.
The two of them have to run that, like, marriage preparation workshop.
Yep.
Let's go around the room. How did you meet?
I've got too many bills.
If you need funds, you can apply in minutes at cashnetusa.com and have the money in your account as soon as the same business day.
Okay, got it. Applying now.
They've been helping hardworking people cover emergency expenses since 2004.
Hey, look, I got it.
You've got this.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See cashnetusa.com for more details.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back guaranteed. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
If you don't know about our flyer deals on Instacart, this message is for you. Flyer deals are like strolling through your favorite store looking for deals, but instead, you're scrolling on your phone. Because getting delivery doesn't mean you have to miss out on in-store deals, like the creamer that doesn't upset your stomach, or the pasta sauce that you can't not buy when it's on sale. Download the Instacart app, shop flyers, and never miss a deal. Plus, get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes.
All right, let's take a look at the real-life story that inspired this episode. It's time for Rip from the Headlines.
You think you know who did it. You think you know who did it. But you don't know who did it. You don't know who did it. Rip from the Headlines.
This episode is inspired by the scandal around reality TV stars, the Duggar family. The television show, 17 Kids and Counting, premiered in 2008, which focused on Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar and their 15 children. They painted themselves as the poster family of traditional values, with ultra-conservative views on clothing, courtship, premarital sex, and obviously, birth control. In 2015, In Touch magazine published an allegation that the oldest son, Josh Duggar, molested 4 of his sisters and a babysitter in 2003. Josh admitted to acting inexcusably, but no charges were filed. In a Fox News interview, his sisters, Jess and Jill, gave tepid defences of their brother and blamed police for leaking the report. The scandal forced TLC to drop the Duggar Show from their lineup. In 2019, federal officials discovered that Josh had downloaded thousands of images of child sexual abuse material on his work computer. Investigators say it was some of the most violent child porn they'd ever seen. Josh Duggar is currently serving 12.5 years sentence at a federal prison in Dallas. After his conviction, TLC cancelled all of its Duggar spin-off shows.
So by the end, it was 19 kids and counting. To get a sense of sort of how extreme having 19 children is, only 0.3% of American women have given birth to more than 7 children.
Wow.
So I always say it's not the religious lifestyle because I know just as many non-religious people who feel morally superior and like to tell people about it. It is the hypocrisy, right, that makes these people worthy of ridicule, Melody.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I think that we definitely have room to interrogate the overall structure, though, for sure.
Agreed.
Sure.
You know, like the fact is that in these families, the girls are the ones who do all of the work. It doesn't matter how many boys are in the family. You can have a majority of boys. The girls are still going to be the ones who are doing the cleaning and the cooking and the babysitting and the nurturing and everything else. So, yeah, I feel like we have room to interrogate that.
Agreed.
Rebecca, when Jim Bob Duggar learned that Josh had molested his sisters, they sent him to a a Christian physical labor camp. And then 16 months later, he brought Josh to meet with a family acquaintance, Arkansas State Trooper Joseph Truman Hutchins. When he heard the story, the trooper, who is a mandatory reporter, did not report Josh, but instead gave him a, quote, stern talk.
A lot of temptation there, Josh. I understand what you're going through.
Don't.
It's tough.
A lot of finger wagging.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You just got to keep it together, though.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how many curves are on display or not, Josh, all right?
Footnote, Trooper Hutchins would later be sentenced to 56 years in prison for child pornography.
Great. Well, also, I don't know if you know this, but one of the girls that, like, Josh was attempting to court when he was younger was his dad's best friend's child. So they sort of grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
So the dad finds out afterwards that they knew about all of the touching that had happened before. And the guy was like, wait, I'm sorry. Were you telling Josh that he could marry my daughter if he behaved well as some sort of like carrot to stop touching his sisters? And Jim Bob was like, I mean, kinda. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep your eyes on the prize, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Boy, I mean, I think we can infer that young Josh Duggar was a victim himself who learned that behavior from an abuser. It was so kind of, it wasn't sort of, I'm curious, I'm exploring certainly his affinity for very graphic child sex abuse images. Having a state trooper in your family circle who got 56 years for child pornography, I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but it's worth a think.
Everybody who's listening to this should run, not walk, and watch the documentary series Shiny Happy People, which is about the Duggar family. And it does, I think, do a good job without excusing Josh at all of showing the culture that forgives, excuses this, and it's easy to imagine that it could have been learned behavior even if he wasn't abused as a child.
Yeah, you're right. It's this idea that like patriarchy hurts everyone. It's the most visible on women for the most part, women and girls. But you are sort of victimized when you're told that you're perfect and wonderful and every idea you had is a great idea and that no matter what you do, it's going to be somebody else's fault. Like at that point, it's really tough to not become a monster sometimes.
Don't burst my bubble.
Listen, it's God's will that you're a monster. It's God's will.
So in order to hold himself accountable and not look at any porn of any kind, Josh installed Covenant Eyes on his computer. This is software that lets someone else know what you're looking at on your devices. The Speaker of the House of Representatives uses this software with his son.
No fucking way. What?
Yeah.
Right now? Today?
Yes, Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
He's talked about this.
Yeah.
They keep each other accountable is what he said about his son.
No.
Yes. I'm not joking. He's literally said
Oh my God, just don't want to hurt women and kids. Is it so hard to ask? Is that so much to ask?
No, you should have somebody checking out. Like, I mean, in a completely non-White Lotus way.
Yes.
Right? But Josh ended up getting around the software because he partitioned his computer with one half of the hard drive running on Windows and the other running on Linux, which can't use Covenant Eyes.
Yeah.
So, smart guy.
Not bad.
Yes.
They're always going to find a way.
Yeah. I mean, how much porn could it have been? It was only half of his computer.
Only half of his
Just
computer.
stop it.
Your Honor. Yeah.
He really limited himself, Your Honor.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, in some cases he did. He had not one, but two subscriptions to Ashley Madison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, Mel, as I always say, if a thing is worth doing.
Oh, definitely.
Now, how did the original 2006 investigation start? It was a tip from whom? Oprah.
Yeah.
The Duggars were supposed to appear on a show back then when they only had 14 kids. When her production company got an anonymous tip then about Josh, the show was never shot, never aired. They forwarded that tip to the Arkansas State Police, which led to a big nothing. I believe they said later statute of limitations had passed or whatever. So the show never aired. Instead of the Duggar special, Oprah had Dr. Oz talk for 42 minutes about how lima beans make you gay. That's going to do it for us. We will be back on July 9th with all new episodes of These Are Their Stories. Want to thank our guest, Melody Carlisle. Melody, where can our listeners follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms. We've got a Facebook group. It's a fun time. Go to heavingbosoms.com if you want all those details.
And Rebecca Lavoie, how can our listeners follow you?
You can follow me everywhere at Reb Lavoie.
And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube X, and Blue Sky. Our newsreader was Cy Frater. Our theme music was composed and performed by Uncanny Valleys. Content assistance from Travis Roy. Lily Flynn handles promotions. All clips in this podcast were used in compliance with the U.S. Copyrights Act fair use exemption for criticism and commentary. Go to lawandorderpodcast.com and sign up for our newsletter for a chance to be our next Law & Order Marathon winner. These Are Their Stories was recorded in Studio C and is a production of Partners in Crime Media.
Partners in Crime Media.
Last year, Americans ate 32 billion chicken wings. Who knows just how many helpless sides of celery were heartlessly thrown away? But this year, celery neglect can stop with you and irresistible Jif peanut butter. Because you can make a snack to make a difference. You can buy a jar of Jif to save the celery. So please, don't let celery be decoration for wings. Tap the banner to save the celery.